The Rams hosting the Colts coming up for Miniview on CBS. And I like what Randy said. They may top the Michael Jordan 51 of last night. What do you think? The Rams.
You watching the Rams practice, they play just like they practice. These guys can play the game.
And everybody talks about turnovers, Mike. You know, turnovers. I don't think Mike Mertz and his team care about turnovers. Speed kills, and they can kill you.
I'm out of here.
You're probably on the other side. Those Bucs scheduled to see only the 4 o'clock game. We're back in just a moment. But for most of you, it is game time on the NFL today. Enjoy it all right here on CBS.
Welcome along the banks of the Mississippi. The St. Louis Rams host the Indianapolis Colts. And the Rams are the best record in the NFC, looking not only for that bye week, but they're on the road to home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. Many feel they are the team to beat for the Super Bowl. And today, if you like offense, they're the #1 and #2 teams in the league. If this were a basketball game, you need 100 points to win.
It is run and gun, Dick. There's no doubt about that. And, of course, both these offenses led by 2 of the premier quarterbacks in the game. Kurt Warner on the right leads the Rams. Peyton Manning on the left. Dick, the big difference between these two, Warner has the #3 defense in the league backing him up. Manning, the 27th.
Rams reminded of home field advantage by London Fletcher.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
1999, a season that climaxed on the last play, catapulting St. Louis into a Super Bowl celebration. Following a disappointing playoffs last year, the Rams seem all the way back, 1 win away from another division title. Mike Martz in the NFL's most explosive offense take on Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts as St. Louis points toward a super February date in New Orleans. Challenge the St. Louis Rams, and Marshall Faulk, one of the leading candidates for most valuable player. How do his ex-teammates stop the quick strike offense of St. Louis?
Subway presents Fresh Starts, a salute to teams who have overcome obstacles and are now forces to reckon with. Subway, eat fresh. The Giants kept their playoff hopes alive as a Kerry Collins touchdown pass to Ike Hilliard with 20 seconds remaining earned New York a 27-24 Week 15 win over the Seahawks. Buccaneers quarterback Brad Johnson threw 3 touchdowns in a 48-21 rout of the Saints as Tampa Bay took a 1-game lead in the race for an NFC wildcard playoff spot.
And welcome back to St. Louis, and we welcome down on the field Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, we're always talking about the Rams offense, but it's the defense today looking to step up after allowing a season-worst 402 yards last week to Carolina. Mark Fields, the weak side linebacker, replaced today by budding rookie Tommy Polley, who behind London Fletcher is the team's second leading tackler with 101, Dick.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. As Lovie Smith looks on, rebuilt St. Louis defense that was one of the worst in the league a year ago and have moved up into the elite category this year. That's the big difference in this St. Louis team.
I would call it a rebuilding job when only 3 starters from a year ago returned. 8 new faces. Of course, they had the luxury of 3 #1 draft choices, a big plus.
Mike Vanderjagt to kick it off to Yo Murphy in his second 4-yard line, and here comes Murphy of the Rams. Waits patiently, gets a block. Cuts across the 30 to the 32-yard line, where he's tackled by Kevin McDougal. The most valuable player in the National Football League 2 years ago as he led the Rams to that Super Bowl title, Kurt Warner out of northern Iowa. And look at those numbers. 2 out of 3 passes complete, over 4,000 yards. Again, and tied with Brett Favre for the most touchdown passes in the league. There he is, 4,000 passing yards again this year for a man that a couple of years ago was not protected on the opening rounds in the expansion draft. Cleveland Browns could have taken him away from St. Louis.
Well, they weren't the only team that didn't know.
That's for sure. Warner scrambling, hit from behind, and tackled right at the line of scrimmage by Marcus Washington, who leads the Colts in sacks this year with 6.5. Here are the starting lineups for the Rams offensively. The Pro Bowler pace at left tackle with Newton, McCullum, Timmerman, and Tucker. In the backfield, the incomparable Marshall Faulk with James Hodgins, the blocker, Holt and Bruce, the speedy wideouts, and Ernie Conwell, who's had a tough top game week after week and has 33 catches on the season. They start out in 4 wide, and of course Mike Martz, the coach of the Rams, will have some surprises, always does. Little safety valve to Faulk, and he puts his head down and is hammered at the 38-yard line by Nick Harper. And here are the men with the horseshoe helmets as they start up front with Corey Williams Johnson and their leading pass rusher Bradsky, although he's been injured much of the year. Linebackers Washington, Morris, and they welcome back Mike Peterson, a key ingredient to that defense. He's missed the last 6 games. Burris and Macklin are the cornerbacks, and Bashir, the rookie, joins Coda at safety. Jim Mora, we'll talk more about him and his future. He has 1 year left on his Indianapolis contract, and of course you all know about the confrontation earlier this year with his quarterback Manning. Warner under pressure gets away and completes the pass at the 44-yard line to Ricky Prohl. Bradsky made the tackle. Burris on a corner blitz had Warner.
And you work all week on setting this up. It works exactly the way you draw it up, except the blitzer doesn't make the tackle. Kurt Warner, he's not all that speedy, but he's got great pocket awareness and pocket sense. And it just took a lateral move of about a yard or so to avoid Jeff Burris. And that is why Kurt Warner is Kurt Warner. And again, the Colts had a wonderful opportunity for a 3-and-out, and that goes poof.
First down at the 44. Faulk's first carry, and he's wrapped up by Mike Peterson, 3rd year out of the University of Florida, and they have dearly missed his talented linebacker. Out with a knee.
He missed 6 games. Yeah, and it's a tough return after being out for that long. Late in the year, and you try your best to ride the bike and get your cardio back and to stay in some kind of shape, but you're not in hitting shape. So it'll be interesting to track Mike Peterson as he goes through this game.
2nd down and 6. Warner looks for that second, now a 3rd option, and now throws to the sideline, complete. As Azir Akeem, Oz is right there, just kind of tiptoed along the sidelines, wide open. Macklin, the defender.
What fabulous pass protection by the Ram offensive line. Just look at the way they stop the 4 rushers, give Kurt Warner, he's moving a little, but then again, it goes right back to the fact that they buy him enough time to survey the field. Akeem doesn't do anything but just stand on the... That was so casual, Dick. That's what's frustrating to other teams. That just looked like a walk in the park.
Too easy. Under pressure, the throw is complete, and it's Torrey Holt on his way toward the end zone. It'll be a tackle at the 1-foot line. He just was denied by Jeff Burris.
And how fitting for Jeff Burris that he has to save the touchdown. This drive is still alive because of that missed tackle on the blitz on 3rd down. Just a crossing pattern into the middle. You know the Rams are only going to go so long before they try to stretch the field. And Jeff Burris, well, maybe something will happen here where they can keep the Rams out of the end zone. They had a chance for a 3-and-out, and this is the price they're paying right now.
42-yard gain. Warner to Holt. 1st and goal from the 1. Warner all day and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe fumbled the ball. There's a scramble, and the referee points toward the Rams recovering. Marcus Washington there to hammer Kurt Warner, and the Colts thought they had a turnover. With Corey there as well, the defensive end.
Well, nothing of it, and see, this is where Kurt Warner, and that ball is out, and it looks like it comes right back to Kurt.
That's what winning teams, they were Manning and Warner were talking about that. Winning teams, the ball bounces right. For Manning, that ball would have rolled to the Rams. Now the inside handoff, and straightened is James Hodgins, the fullback, and he doesn't get in.
Yeah, that you talk about the mindset that happens when you're not winning, Dick, and that's it exactly. In fact, the Colts probably figure Jim Morris thinking if that would have been us, not only would we not have got, but they'd have picked it up and run it back for a touchdown the other way.
It has been a difficult season with all the high hopes of Mora and the Colts and their fans. Well, Hodgins, only his second carry all year. He doesn't get in. 3rd and goal. 3 tight ends. Give it to Falk. He knows the way.
How's that for a hole on the left side? Marshall Falk untouched into the end zone. What a job by Orlando Pace, number 76, the left tackle. Going to start with a double team, and then big Orlando's going to come off, and he peels off and hits Marcus Washington, the linebacker. And a wise move by Marshall Falk, going behind big OP, Orlando Pace.
Jeff Wilkins for the point after. And it's 7-0. The touchdown machine for the Rams. Marshall Falk, following brilliant blocking. That's his 17th score of the season. Torrey Holt, the #1 pick by the Rams in '99. His 42-yard reception from Kurt Warner, setting up the 1-yard score by Marshall Falk. And look at Warner, 4 for 4, opening drive. He finished last week 10 for 10, so he's completed his last 14. Wilkins to kick it off to Wilkins. Jeff to Terrence. And one of 17 undrafted free agents, Wilkins sprints through a good gap and gets it out to the 32 before Tommy Polley makes the stop.
Well, let's take another look at the touchdown by Marshall Falk. Here's Orlando Pace. He's going to come down and then come back off. Watch the double team with Tom Newton, the guard. But then he comes off and knocks Marcus Washington to the outside. From the lower level, he gets in on the double team, keeps his balance, comes up and buries another guy. Outstanding block that time by Newton, but Orlando Pace, that's why he's a Pro Bowler.
And Falk, 106 career touchdowns, passes Don Hudson. He's number 10 all time. Peyton Manning with a single back. Dominique Rhodes, the rookie, fires to the outside, incomplete. Intended for Terrence Wilkins. Good defense by Dexter McCleon. Peyton Manning, son of a great player Archie out of Tennessee, and his number is 24 touchdowns. That's a lot of scores. The 21 interceptions have bitten a lot of opportunity, and 6 of those have been returned for scores by the defense.
Like Peyton told us, Dick, that he knows that they were his fault ultimately, but he was just trying to win, trying to get his team back in some games.
Keep a weak defense off the field.
Yep.
Plenty of noise against Manning. 2nd and 10. Rhodes dumped in the backfield by Adam Archuleta, the rookie from Arizona State. A look at the defense or offense of the Colts with Harry Glenn, a solid blocker at left tackle. McKinney, Saturday, Deem, and Meadows up front. For the injured Edgerrin James, Dominique Rhodes already rushed for more than any undrafted rookie. Wilkins, Harrison, Pollard, and Dilger, 2 tight ends start for the Colts, and it's 3rd down and 13. 3 wide receivers with Reggie Wayne, the rookie, in there. Flanker screen complete to Wilkins. Wilkins into the clear at the 50 and all the way to the Rams' 43-yard line before Aeneas Williams can track him down with Dexter McCleon.
Well, ever since Terrence Wilkins came to the NFL, this is the kind of explosiveness he has always shown. It's a risky play because Wilkins knows coming in on that slant that he can take a big hit if his blockers don't get out in front of him. Explosive is the word that describes Terrence Wilkins. And oh, did the Colts need that on 3rd and 13. Wow.
28-yard play, his longest reception of the year. Manning changing his play, or sometimes this is all just window dressing. Give it to Rhodes. And the young running back from Midwestern Texas State University. gets a couple. Look at the Rams defensively, and what an improvement, this rebuilt side of the ball. Ahanotu, Young, Skanina, and Wistrom. Wistrom, Pro Bowler. Davis, Fletcher, the middle backer, leads in tackles, and Polly, the rookie, and he's moved into the starting lineup. Aeneas Williams, 50 interceptions. Herring and Archuleta at safety. Dexter McLeon, the other corner. 2nd and 9. Manning underneath, complete to Dilger. And Ken Dilger, the tight end, has a first down at the Rams 32. It is his 29th catch of the year. These tight ends for the Colts, Dan, have been very productive. 72 receptions from the tight end position.
Well, they've needed it because they've lost Jerome Pathon, their second receiver, and Marvin Harrison is really the only real receiving threat they have. They have a #1 draft choice in Reggie Wayne and Terrence Wilkins, as we just saw, but really the tight ends have got to pick up the slack with the loss of Pathon.
First down, and the Rams show blitz, and so Manning points at Archuleta, the safety, who creeped up to the line of scrimmage, and here he comes again. Manning throwing incomplete. Dilger, the closest white jersey, and he was throwing on retreat. Archuleta coming.
Archuleta. Now, he's a strong safety now, but this is a kid who was a linebacker in college, and he's a, you know, he makes things happen. He's stuffed in the middle, tries to peel around the corner, and, you know, right there, a good look at Manning just anticipating that break by Dilger when it didn't happen. Peyton came really close to making a big play, and I almost called him Archie.
Well, I know. That was I was worried about that for both of us. We know his dad so well.
I came into the league with Archie. I played in a bunch of bowl games, the college all-star game with Archie. It's tough for me.
I called his early games when he was a New Orleans Saint. Here's Rhodes on a draw, gets a couple to the 30-yard line. Dominique Rhodes, not drafted. He's out of Abilene, Texas, and a Division II player at Midwestern State University. The Indians down in Wichita Falls, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys train, and really a charming, modest, you can just see he's got, as you said, an R all over him. He's a rookie all the way, but he's performed.
Oh, and what a surprise. Of course, he's had to perform when they lost Edgerrin James on October 25th. You would have thought the Colts running game was dead. Anything but.
All alone in the shotgun is Manning. And timeout St. Louis. That's interesting. As Manning showed them a new look. 5:42 left in the opening quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. The Civic from Honda, with more fun per gallon. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beer.
Spectacular 630-foot-high gateway arch. Gateway to the west, St. Louis, Missouri. You can take a tram up to the top of that. It's a spectacular tourist visit. And that's exactly what the Colts hope to accomplish today. A spectacular visit here against the Rams. They trail 7-0 here in the opening quarter. Have a 3rd down and 8 at the Rams' 30-yard line. Manning steps up, looks, throws to the end zone, complete, just shy of the goal line to Marvin Harrison, and Harrison, those quick feet of Harrison's dancing before he went out of bounds, and a tough throw on the run by Manning.
Well, some confusion on the part of the Rams back in the secondary. When Peyton makes his break out of the pocket, 2 guys think he's going to run, and they just release Marvin Harrison. You don't ever release Marvin Harrison anytime, anywhere. You see, originally he starts off with McLeon, but then both McLeon and Aeneas Williams come up appearing to be threatened by the running of Manning, and they both release Marvin Harrison.
Harrison now 4 catches shy of another 100-catch season. 1st and goal, fake to Rhodes. Manning fires, incomplete, intended for Harrison.
There's a flag down there in the back of the end zone, Dick.
Yeah, just a footnote on Harrison now. He's caught a pass in every one of his NFL games. 91 straight out of the Syracuse University. What a pick.
Holding. Defense, number 21.
half the distance to goal, automatic first down.
Now Dexter McCleon with the hold. So
well, he's got the man coverage there at the top of your screen, and he bites on that outside move by Harrison. And then when Harrison breaks to the inside, he reaches out and grabs, and yeah, Peyton could see that.
not much of a grab, but it was enough to slow him by half step, and that was the difference in a catch or not.
Well, and the official who makes the call is just standing about 8 yards directly behind you, so that left arm that you reach out with and grab him is in plain view.
So first and goal after the penalty, half the distance at the 3-yard line. Harrison right, Wilkins left, and movement before the snap.
I think Tariq Glenn, the left tackle, he certainly came up out of his stance.
Start offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, remains.
Well, the spirit of St. Louis, all that noise may have helped create that false start. Log on to NFL.com and check out Phil Simms and his thoughts on how home field advantage in the playoffs is not as important as some people think. Just go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. Don't tell that to the Rams. They want to play the rest of the season other than New Orleans right here. First and goal at the 8. Manning to the end zone. Incomplete.
Yeah,
that's another flag.
Yeah, that's interference all the way on McCleon. Not playing the football at all, just running in to Terrence Wilkins.
So back-to-back calls against McCleon.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
As a cornerback, you've got to make some effort to play the football. And as Wilkins heads to the corner, Dexter McCleon never turns around, never looks at the football, just makes contact with Terrence Wilkins. And that will draw the flag 100 out of 100 times.
So the Colts have 4 shots from the 1 to tie it up here in the first quarter. Jim Finn at fullback. The give is to Rhodes. Rhodes at the goal line. And no signal is stopped just shy. Filling the hole was Tommy Polley, the rookie second-round pick from Florida State. And how the Rams and Mike Martz like this young man.
Well, he came in as a rookie only at about 218 pounds. And when I say rookie, I'm talking about the beginning of training camp. And he has put on a lot of weight. Tommy is already up to about 238, almost 240 pounds. And that's a lot of weight to gain during your rookie year. Most rookies worry themselves into weight loss.
Rhodes protecting the ball is in the end zone for the touchdown. Rhodes with 6 fumbles in the last 7 games was really embracing the pumpkin as he scores.
Well, this is one of the better offensive drives that you'll see an offensive team make. Good surge at the point of attack. But with the Rams jumping out to a 7-0 lead, if this would have been a 3-and-out series for the Colts, we might be looking at a 14-0 ball game if the Rams offense got out on the field that quickly.
Extra point try by Vanderjagt, and the game is tied at 7. The 9th touchdown of this season for young Dominique Rhodes. It's even at 7. Yeah, we talk about the great receivers for the Rams. These Colts don't need to apologize, and Dexter McCleon knows that well, and trying to defend, picked up a couple of penalty calls as Manning takes him 68 yards in 10 plays with Dominique Rhodes scoring from 1 yard out. It's tied at 7. Vanderjagt to Yo Murphy at the 4. And he's dropped at the 23-yard line by Janelle Thompson, the reserve linebacker. 4:15 remaining. Opening quarter. It's tied in St. Louis.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. And by America Online Vision 7.0. There's never been a better time to get online.
The high school hockey player Jeff Scanina played his college ball at Purdue. They say he's playing in his 9th year, the best ever.
You could put advertising on those arms. He could rent those things.
Those
he
look
could
like
rent
yours.
those things out.
Now first down for the Rams and Warner at the 23, and back to pass he goes. Knocked back in his face. Fly swatted down by one of the big defensive linemen of the Colts. Might have been Bratsky.
Let's take a look at a replay, and we'll see if it is Chad. Looks like it might have been Josh Williams. Let's see if it's... No, it's number 99. We got Brad Scioli as the guy that gets up and gets it. Bratsky was immediately behind. Bratsky might have got it if Scioli wouldn't have.
Scioli doing his job. 2nd and 10. Both teams going to the air. Not many runs. And Warner to fire again. Steps up, and then the shovel pass complete the ball. And he has a first down as he sprints out to the 34. Tied here in St. Louis. Jim Nance, what do you have for us?
We've got a little update here for you from Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Cordell Stewart, Plexico Burris shaking free from 2 defenders. 7-0 Steelers. 4 minutes to go first quarter. No score, meanwhile, as they make the quarter change down in Dallas. The 49ers, everyone in St. Louis eyeing that one. Scoreless, 49ers, Cowboys. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
Thank you, Jim. Steelers going for their 8th win in a row with the Rams both 12-2, and Marshall Faulk skipping for another dozen into Indianapolis territory to the 49 before Adriz Bashir, the rookie from Memphis, the safety man, makes the stop.
Boy, that's too easy. Right guard Adam Timmerman. There he comes, number 62. He pins Bratsky to the inside. Then he's got Jeff Robinson, number 45, out in front. Whoa, that's not supposed to be that easy.
100-yard rushing games, Falk with 14.
Got a ways to go to catch Eric Dickerson.
Of course, he was a former Colt. Traded here for a couple of picks in '99. Falk again. Young man from New Orleans, and he is still young. Wears his age on his jersey, only 28. And when you meet him and hear how he's matured and how he understands the game and the aspects that he appreciates. I like the fact he said, I get as big a kick out of making something out of what should have been a loss as I do a long run.
He is, I think maybe the thing that sticks out when you talk about Marshall Faulk and you talk to the people who coach him and play with him, universally they will tell you that he's the most intelligent football player they have ever been around. Not only does he know his job, he knows the other 10 players. He can write it down and recite it.
2nd and 3, Faulk again. He knows the hole, doesn't he? First down at the 34, and this is the Marshall Faulk drive as the former San Diego State star eating up big chunks.
Well, 3 consecutive plays now. The Rams offensive line has destroyed the Colts up front. Marshall Faulk coming in right behind the block of Tom Newton and Orlando Pace again. Timmerman pulled one more time, but this is 3 plays in a row where that side of the Colts defense has been obliterated.
And young man sold popcorn at the Superdome when Jim Mora was the coach of the Saints out of the projects of New Orleans. Warner all day to throw. Fires deep. And it is incomplete. Intended for Oz Hakeem. Jeff Burris there to cover for the Colts. And a reminder, this is a CBS doubleheader day. To stay with us. Coming up next, you'll either see Oakland, Denver, or Seattle at San Diego. Check your local listings, and for more, go to NFL.com, America Online, keyword NFL.com.
Dick, you talked about Marshall Faulk selling popcorn at the Superdome. He plans on going back to the Superdome relatively soon, and it's not to sell any popcorn.
He could own the franchise now.
The Super Bowl coming up, and Marshall plans on taking his Rams home.
On 2nd and 10, the toss to Faulk. Patiently waits for a block. And then look at the strength of Faulk. I mean, not only has the speed and the elusiveness, when he has to, he'll put the shoulder down and run through a tackle.
Again, though, what a surge by the left side here of the Rams offensive line. There's the down block by Pace. Here comes Tom Newton, number 61, out in front. He obliterates the support. And then Marshall, that's all Faulk needs is any kind of a heads up. Right now, Pace and Newton and Andy McCollum, the center, and Timmerman, the right guard, and Ryan Tucker, the right tackle. They are having their way with the Indianapolis Colts front four.
3rd down and 3. Rams best in the league on 3rd down. And Warner over the middle. One through the catch by Faulk. Oh! 3-ring circus and football cleats. There's so Faulk.
Dick, you can't give me an O and not finish it off.
My!
Thank you. Well, This is why Kurt Warner is as good as he is, because he can throw it behind people and they'll catch it. Look at that one-handed stab of a football way behind him by Marshall Faulk. Oh, geez.
Well, that's only one quarter. The circus continues here in St. Louis. Don't wander away. That's the final seconds tick away here in the opening quarter. Faulk with 44 yards rushing, 30 more on receiving in the opening 15 minutes. It's tied at 7. We'll return to the Dome at America Center right after these messages.
And welcome back to St. Louis. We open the second quarter with Dan Dierdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, Mike Arnold, our director, and Lance Barrow, our producer, and all the gang here from St. Louis. A Happy New Year, everyone.
Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday, and hope you enjoyed your family and friends. It's a wonderful time of year.
I think this year especially, we all had more sincerity in our embraces. First down at the 14. All yards, 63 by Marshall Faulk on this drive by St. Louis. Here he comes again. Boom. To the 3-yard line and another first down. So make that 74 yards on this entire drive, all in the pocket of Marshall Faulk.
Well, this looks like a Friday walkthrough with the holes that Marshall Faulk is getting from his offensive line. Look at this. The umpire's got to think, I've got to get out of the way. Nobody else is going to stop him before he gets to me. Tremendous blocking by the Rams, and somehow the Colts have got to dig in defensively. They are being routed at the line of scrimmage.
So that 9 plays, 73 yards, an entire Marshall Faulk drive. First and goal at the 4. Why not Faulk again? Why not a touchdown?
Untouched. Untouched. The linemen are taking turns. This time Tom Newton, the left guard, number 61, gets the kick out. Oh. Take a look at it right. There's Ernie Conwell, 84, the tight end. Newton, 61, the kick out. Between Conwell and Newton, there's about 4 yards of space that Marshall Faulk takes a leisurely jaunt into the end zone. Yeah. And this has to be a Colts defense that, Dick, back on their heels doesn't do it. It's worse than that.
14-7. When have you ever seen that before? 10 plays, all by one player. 77 yards, Faulk. Well, that's a tour de force drive for Marshall Faulk. He did it all 77 yards.
Well, what can you say? Last year's MVP of the National Football League, and making a very strong case to be a repeat winner here in 2001, even though he's missed 2 full games.
Spins and down he goes. Hit hard by Tommy Polly, the rookie. Makes another statement. Timeout with a minute gone. Second quarter. Rams by 7. Yeah, they've been battered all season long, and Jim Mora knows that that's where the Colts are going to have to rebuild next year, find some new beef, a little light in the defensive line. They're very young, and they've shown it. Very generous, the most generous team giving up points in the league. Now it's up to Manning, trailing 14-7. Underneath, he throws complete to Harrison, and he's across the 25 with another catch, a 9-yard pickup.
How about one more look at that last St. Louis touchdown? And again, go ahead, watch this. Ernie Conwell, number 84, is a tight end. Down block there by Orlando Pace. Here comes Newton with the kick out. And caught up in the wash is middle linebacker Rob Morris, who just, he guessed. That's all there is to say. He thought Marshall Faulk was going inside. Marshall went outside, and that is way too easy.
Rhodes trying to add to that 1-yard rushing total, and he's close to a first down as they mark it at about the 27-yard line. B squared, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, you think Marshall Faulk would be extremely fired up with 2 touchdowns against the team that traded him. I've watched him on the bench, though, and he's really looked business as usual. Absolutely worth noting, though, Bill Polian would not renegotiate his contract in 1999, so the Colts traded him to a 4-12 team. Needless to say, with the Super Bowl ring and a couple other good seasons, Marshall's doing okay.
He's a happy camper here in St. Louis. He is part of this incredibly talented offense for St. Louis. There's just no team in the league like it. That's Marcus Pollard, the tight end, in motion on first down. Manning to this side, open and complete is Terrence Wilkins, and he's wrestled down by Dexter McCleon and company after a gain of 8.
You know, Dick, I just want to follow up on Bonnie's report from the sideline. The thing you have to keep in mind, and what the Colts and Polian were thinking about, is one, they knew that Marshall wanted a big contract. Okay, so they knew a lot of money was at stake. Two, they already knew that they wanted Edgerrin James. They knew that they could replace him. Now, who knew that Edgerrin James was going to be that good? But it's not like they just packed Marshall Faulk off to St. Louis and figured we'd play all season without a running back. They knew they could replace him.
And we'll give you an update on Edgerrin James from Peyton Manning right after this play. On second and short, Rhodes finds some opening, 40, 50, and boy, can he accelerate, gets that extra gear going, and a first down at the Rams' 46-yard line.
Well, what is there not to like about this kid? And he's the recipient of some pretty good blocking up front right there. You see Adam Meadows, his right tackle, pins his guy to the inside. And a lot of pressure on this Indianapolis offensive unit, Dick. They know that if they don't keep the football, if they don't, I don't know how many points they think they had to score coming into this game, but I'll guarantee you they talked among themselves and it was somewhere in the 30s.
18 yards on that carry, first down. The fake on that long handoff, and then Manning down the middle, and it's caught by Harrison at the 10-yard line. The big strike down the middle, and did Manning lay that perfectly between two Ram defenders, Herring and Archuleta, the safety man.
Well, this time the Rams are sitting in a zone. Aeneas Williams allows him to go deep. That's his responsibility. He becomes a safety, but you've got a rookie there in Archuleta, and he compensates way too far to the outside. Now, it's a big hit. Marvin takes a big hit from Archuleta, but Adam overplayed that reception to the outside, and we can see that Marvin Harrison is dinged.
And holding that right hand as if he may have had that pinch on the tackle by Archuleta. Leaves the game with 3 catches and 69 yards, and such a key ingredient. The rookie from Miami, Reggie Wayne, replaces him. First and goal right at the 10. Actually, they can get a first down without a touchdown. Manning steps up, throws underneath to Gilger. Gilger really hadn't been hit, and so he just crawls his way to the 1-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. Let's go back to the Harrison hit.
Well, Adam Archuleta is a huge hitter, and he'll make his share of mistakes in the secondary. But it's a helmet-to-helmet hit right on Marvin Harrison. When Harrison came off, he was holding his hand. This former linebacker back there at strong safety, he is a guided missile coming in. When he hits, and he hits big.
They're saying officially it is second and goal. Fake to Rhodes, and Manning walks it in for the touchdown. His 4th rushing touchdown this season. He caught the entire Rams team looking for Rhodes.
Well, you can't say enough about Jim Mora's offense and what they're doing to stay in this football game. 2 outstanding drives by the Indianapolis Colts. And folks, that is selling the play action and having all 11 defenders fight on it. It's been a while since I've seen that clean of a bootleg into the end zone.
Hang on to your wallets.
I'm still not sure if the Rams defense knows that Manning has the ball.
Extra point by Vanderjagt, and it's tied at 14 as Archie's kid, Peyton, with a walk-in touchdown. It's 14-all.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel. Nextel, how business gets done. Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Marvin Harrison, huge in talent, but slight of build, just 6 feet, about 175 pounds. When you walked in the room yesterday, it's hard to believe that this is a star NFL receiver.
He has a very slight build, but Marvin Harrison has been doing it for so long. But he's got 3 catches today. That's 98 on the year.
Yo Murphy again. And And down he goes. Llewellyn Murphy, thank you. At the 28-yard line, Jim Finn from the University of Pennsylvania made the tackle.
Scored tied in St. Louis. Good news for the Colts. Marvin Harrison only has a bruised elbow. It looks like he'll go back in. Amazing watching him on the bench, though. He was in excruciating pain and would have his head down, but every time there was a play going on, he made sure he looked up and watched what was going on, guys.
Now Harrison apparently will return. That is good news. Thank you, Bonnie. From the 28, 4 possessions in the game. At the 20-yard line, and it's Torrey Holt again, the deep ball. And a first down at the Colts 20-yard line.
Well, it's been a busy first half for Jeff Burris. Jeff Burris, number 20, locked up man-on-man with Torrey Holt, and really doesn't have all the... Now, he loses some separation there, but he comes in, and it looks like he's got a play on the football and misses it by about 2 inches.
51-yard play for the Rams. They mark it at the 21.
And what kind of a throw was that from Kurt Warner?
But given so much time, again, well protected, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Holt. Make that Isaac Brook. No, it is Holt. It is Holt.
I'm not sure David Macklin knows which one it is. It's just somebody in a blue jersey went by him so fast he couldn't see the number. Wow. Big game. Torrey Holt sells the post, comes back to the outside, and David Macklin bites all over it. Wow. If he was a fish, he'd be in the boat.
Jeff Wilkins, point after. So Falk gets all the yards the last touchdown drive. Torrey Holt says, try me out. I'll take care of all the yards this time. It's 21-14.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Rolaids. Rolaids. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relieve.
Torrey Holt living up to his nickname, Big Game. All he's done in this first half, 3 catches, 42 yards, 51 yards, 21 yards. He accounted for all 72 in that very quick strike by the Rams to take the lead again.
And he's sitting right next to Isaac Bruce. And Isaac's got to be thinking, wait a minute. Torrey's in on the action. Marshall's having a lot of fun. Guarantee it before it's over. Eichel be in the end zone, too.
Good kickoff by Wilkins, and Terrence Wilkins of the Colts will take the kneel down on the 20-yard line, and we'll take the trip to New York for this update, Jim.
All right, that Warner-Holt combo worked out well, but this one's struck twice now for touchdowns for the Steelers. Cordell to Plexico, 14-0 second quarter at Cincinnati, and the Cowboys have taken the lead on the 49ers. Carter to Shivarani, 10-7. Cowboys, let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thank you, Jim. Of course, the Bears, last report we saw, were leading by a couple of touchdowns, and St. Louis fans keeping a close eye on that game as they're 1 game behind St. Louis in the overall NFC one-loss records, and have an advantage in a tiebreaker should the Rams stumble. Manning underneath, complete. And it's Marvin Harrison right back into the game and picks up 7 yards. Well, coming up, the premiere of First Monday. That's on January 15th. Second down and 3. 1 catch from 100 now, Marvin Harrison. Second down and short. Rhodes on a delay. Tries that right side and is stuffed short of the first down by a yard. Tommy. Tommy Polley leading the defensive charge for the Rams.
Dick, I can't begin to tell you how much I admire a guy like Marvin Harrison for coming back and playing in this football game. You've got a legitimate NFL superstar, a guy who, let's face it, his team is out of the playoffs. It would be easy to say, hey, you know what, I'll meet you at the airport and head back to Indianapolis. He only a true competitor, hurt, comes back into a game like this when the season is lost.
On third down, the draw play, and Rhodes breaking tackles, and he streaks out across the 40-yard line to the 41. And the Colts first down. Well, talking about the competitive spirit of the Colts, you got the feeling from all their players yesterday, they're still working hard. They're disappointed in 5-9, but they haven't given up the ship.
And Jim Moore was very complimentary of his team last week in that loss to the Jets. He was so disappointed that they lost, but all he could do was talk about that the effort they gave was all he asked for, that it was a winning effort. It's just that they made a few mistakes, had a couple of fumbles, and lost the football game, but pleased with their effort.
Manning, the quick throw to Dilger, and a gain of 4 out to the 45-yard line. We mentioned an update on Edgerrin James, who is rehabbing down in Miami from that knee surgery. And Peyton Manning said, I talk to him weekly, and he calls young Rhodes too every week and gives him a critique and encouragement. He's on, if not ahead of schedule in his rehab, and they expect him to be full bore come training camp next year. Second down, and call it a short 6. The quickie is complete and tackled immediately as Marcus Pollard, his first reception today. He had 43 catches coming in. Man who didn't play any college ball, was a power forward at Bradley University in basketball.
But that pattern is set up for Pollard to break the tackle, being a big guy at 250 pounds. But they didn't count on Adam Archuleta being the Ram defender who came up and put a superb tackle on Marcus Pollard. Archuleta is only a rookie. This guy's going to be hitting people in this league for a long time to come.
Quick and great instincts. Third down, a long one. Fake to Rhodes. Manning in trouble. Big trouble, has to throw it away. Was right on his heels, chasing him to the sideline.
You won't see very often a referee like Terry McCauley having to scramble to get out of the way. Peyton Manning is running to beat the devil to get out of there, and Terry McCauley is in harm's way. You knew Peyton was going to get out of there and get rid of the football, but he almost got the referee in the process.
Didn't see a flag on the play, but the officials huddling. That was also Tyoka Jackson, 97, chasing after Manning. We haven't had a punt in the game yet, and there's under 5 minutes left in this opening half.
Well, Manning was certainly out of the pocket. What he has to do is get the football back up around the line of scrimmage. I don't know what they're consulting about, and there comes a flag.
I guess they're saying he didn't get it close enough to the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 18. The quarterback was out of the pocket. However, the ball did not get anywhere near the line of scrimmage.
And of course,
the ball we placed at the spot of the pass, loss of down, 4th down.
And of course, it was obvious that Terry McCauley, running backwards, wasn't able to assess where the ball went. You know, it's that tight end to tight end box, and we're going to see that Peyton Manning is well outside of that. He leaves it there. So what he has to do now is get it back near the line of scrimmage.
Which was the 50-yard line, and there's the yardstick. Yep. It was pretty close, but that was the yardstick at the 41-yard line where the last first down occurred.
McCauley did what he had to do. He consulted with the officials working that side of the field, tried to get an assessment of where the ball went out of bounds, and after talking to his fellow crew members, made the call.
Hunter the punter, Hunter Smith for the Colts to kick, and we experience our first punt of the day. Former Notre Dame kicker, this end over end, and fielded on the fly by Dre Bly at the 45 and down at the 48-yard line. An excellent field position for Kurt Warner. Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Vanessa Williams star action-packed thriller Eraser. That's tonight on CBS. And a reminder, CBSSportsline.com, AOL keyword CBS Sportsline for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards. Warner and the Rams haven't punted the entire half. They lead 21-14, start from their own 48. Little flanker screen that's complete to Isaac Bruce. Ellis Johnson makes the stop for Indianapolis.
Well, there are the Rams. Take a look at that. How about that? Touchdown, 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 and long drives, 68, 68, and 72 yards.
Number one in the league in offense, number one passing team, number one scoring team, and Mike Martz saying that actually hated coaching last year. It was just too much for him. He was exhausted. He's learned to delegate responsibility. He said it's really been fun for him. He feels well rested this year. The toss to Falk, drawing a crowd, but picks up the block and is close to a first down at the Colts 42.5. Rob Morris made the stop.
That's about one of the best plays by the Colts defense so far in this first half, only giving up about, what, 5 yards on that play? You hate to say it, but this has to be a group right now that is, well, shell-shocked isn't even the right word. They have to be staring at each other in that huddle, wondering who's going to step up and make a play.
Third down, less than a yard.
Well, this is a case where we'll see if they can dig in, because they have been blown off the line by the Rams.
And Falk powers his way easily to a first down at the 39. Jim Mora said it's not only the fact they have great athletes, and it's everyone thinks of them being faster than everyone else. He said it's the tempo with which the Rams play. You can't practice to ready yourself against St. Louis.
Well, and one thing about the Rams, and Jim Mora is aware of this, is, you know, they got tagged with a label earlier this year of the finesse team. And Mike Martz and the entire Rams organization took exception to that. Well, they have an offensive line that can be very physical, and they're demonstrating that in the first half of this game. This is hard-nosed physical football being played by these guys up front for the Rams.
James Hodgins in motion from his fullback position, and Warner steps up, throws wide open again. Isaac Bruce, and Bruce is out of bounds at the Colts 11-yard line. Morris got him out of the field of play.
You knew they'd let Isaac come out and play sooner or later. It's all been Marshall and Torrey to this point. Ike wants in on the action. He works out of the slot. And again, working against the Colts zone. Gets right between the linebackers and the safeties. Again, the missed tackle, and Rob Morris has to come all the way across and force him out of bounds. But look at Kurt Warner. He's in a rocking chair sitting back there, just surveying the field. And he does what he does better than any quarterback in this league, hitting his players, his receivers in stride.
60 catches now for Bruce on the year. Into the flat to Falk. And there's a rare open field tackle. Rob Morris gets Falk down. Not many times will Falk hit the ground on the first hit. We've approached the 2-minute timeout. The Rams leading by 7. Rams threatening to add to that 21-14 lead. They're down at the 11-yard line of the Colts, and it is a breathtaking offense again.
It is, and we knew that the Colts were challenged defensively coming in, the 27th ranked defense in the league, but physically I thought that they might challenge St. Louis a little more than this. They have not been able to penetrate the front wall of the Rams. They've not been able to create any chaos in the backfield. They've not put any pressure on Kurt Warner to speak of. And it's because of that they're looking at, trying to keep from going 2 touchdowns down here right before the end of the first half.
Big holes for Marshall Falk, and Warner's had all day to find open receivers, and that leads to an 11 for 13. And here comes Falk on a delay down to the 5, where it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the first down, 5 yards for the touchdown. Josh Williams makes the stop for Indy. And timeout by the Colts with 1:50 left in the half.
Come on, guys.
This is Dwayne Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
but this is my favorite painting of them all.
Dwayne helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting after-school programs for kids.
Based on traditional thinking, he was considered a surrealist. Abstract thinking, yet classical form, was how the French interpreted the movement.
That looks like spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
A reminder coming up, the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Mike, Randy, Jerry have all the scores and highlights of our first game of this doubleheader day. A report from the Oakland-Denver game as well, so stay with us at the half. 3rd down and 4. Falk into the flat. He's got the hat trick. 3rd touchdown for Marshall Falk.
Just organized chaos out in front of Marshall Falk. Crisscrossing receivers, confused Indianapolis defense, and wow. Jimmy Kimmons, our cameraman, I think that's what you would call getting inside the players. You see an NFL official who's shaken up on the play.
Jimmy getting the picture all the way, staying with it right through the contact. Nice going. He gets the Medal of Honor today. Falk with 3 touchdowns. Isaac Bruce had 3 in the New Orleans game. And makes it look so easy.
They're going to review this play to determine whether or not Marshall Falk got into the end zone. Let's take a look at it. Where was the ball? Now Marshall was carrying the ball back. He was carrying it back on his body. This is again from our cameraman Jimmy Kimmons down there. Boy, that is a tough call to try to determine. Remember now, it was ruled a touchdown. So Terry McCauley, our referee, is going to have to go under the hood and find definitive evidence that it was not a touchdown. Remember, it's where is the ball when Marshall Falk goes out of bounds?
Well, it's close. We'll have to remember as well, though, if it's not a touchdown, it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-foot line.
But that's what he's looking for right now. McCauley is looking, can I get the perfect picture that shows me the football out of bounds prior to Marshall Falk getting it across the goal line, or any part of Marshall's body being out of bounds before the football breaks the plane. If he can't see that, then he's obligated to go with the ruling on the field, which was a touchdown.
Well, we wait for that decision to see Jim Mora and Mike Martz, and Mora definitely wants to come back. He has a year in his contract, but certainly hopes it'll continue. And I think it's important that we relate to you what Peyton Manning told us, and he said, I am, and this is a quote, 100% in favor of Jim Mora being our head coach, not only next year, but to continue. I like this offense.
It was a very strong endorsement. Here it is from behind. See, when Marshall Falk touches the pylon is when your body hits it, the pylon is out of bounds. But where is the football at that point?
I don't see how you can rule that it isn't a touchdown. There just isn't.
You know, from that angle, of course, it doesn't look like a touchdown, but that camera is well behind the goal line.
After review, there's no indisputable evidence that the ball did not cross the goal line when the runner's foot stepped out of bounds in the end zone. The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
That seemed the reasonable result.
I don't think he had any other choice but to say that. And that was a good use of the microphone by the referee in explaining exactly what he did not see.
752 yards in 7 plays for the Rams' 4th touchdown. And Wilkins adds the extra point. And with less than 2 minutes left in this opening half, the Rams extend by 14.
Every freedom we have.
Do you want to fight crime so badly you're willing to throw out the Bill of Rights?
Every law we obey.
The offense was a triple murder.
Every hope we share.
Precedent can be overturned if it's wrong.
Or reaffirmed if it's right.
Is in their hands.
Let's go make history.
Now, the creator of JAG takes you inside the highest court in the land.
All stand for the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Joe Mantegna, James Garner. First Monday premieres CBS January 15th.
And welcome back, and standing by, Randy, Mike, Jerry, support team for Jim Nance, our captain, back at the Nextel halftime report with the scores and highlights for you. 28-14 the score, and Marshall Faulk with 3 more touchdowns. He's got 19 on the season. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards, of course, leads his team. He came into the day with 71 catches. That's #1 with the Rams, and as Dan pointed out earlier, here's a man who sat down for 2 games with an injury and still has those glossy numbers. Interesting that Morrow used a timeout there in that Rams possession, knowing that this is a scoring fest, that he's got to give himself a chance at the end of the half, give Manning an opportunity to perhaps get one of those scores back. Terrence Wilkins just tripped up as he crosses the 25-yard line.
Well, this is a case of wake me when it's over. That's John Baker, the Rams punter. My, what a busy half he's had. He just had to take off his baseball cap. He must be exhausted.
That's his season numbers. He's had to punt only 39 times now in 14.5 games, so maybe 3 times a game. You can expect to loosen up that right leg.
Well, the last time he punted was in warm-ups.
So from the 26-yard line, Peyton Manning with 1:41 left in the half and 2 timeouts to use. Goes to Rhodes, and Rhodes trips. So he lost a little speed and then barrels out to the 34-yard line. You know, when you lose a great player like Edgerrin James and you find this undrafted free agent Dominique Rhodes, there are some good things that come out of disaster. Quick throw is incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 2. Tonight, it's nostalgia night on 60 Minutes, and who better to get us in a happy, nostalgic mood than Carol Burnett tonight on 60 Minutes, following our doubleheader action here on CBS.
People are still talking about that Carol Burnett special that aired, what, maybe a month ago? Spectacular television.
Great stuff. 3rd and 2 for Manning and the Colts. 3 wide receivers. Incomplete, as Manning had to hurry his throw as the pressure was coming from Leonard Little, the Rams' top sackmaster.
Leonard Little comes in untouched, and Peyton Manning knows he's got a hot rusher, and he had the break he wanted. He had the receiver, but they just can't hook up. And now, unfortunately for Indianapolis, plenty of time for this Rams offense to tally another one.
Minute 16 left as Hunter Smith to kick it to Dre Bly. Bly has taken the job from Oz Akeem because of Akeem's fumble problems. Beautiful driving spiral. Bly at the 14. And wrapped up at the 21-yard line. A 52-yard punt, 8 on the return. A reminder, football continues tomorrow. The Wells Fargo Sun Bowl. CBS Sports rolling into the bowl season. Purdue's Boilermakers and the Cougars of Washington State. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America online keyword CBS Sportsline. 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 11 out on the West Coast for the Sun Bowl.
I'm assuming the Rams will just kneel on the ball and let the clock expire.
You're assuming, huh?
That's normally the way they do it, huh?
Yeah, that's when they score so quickly.
Yep.
12 yards average on 1st down, and the throw into the flat, wide open to Isaac Bruce. And Bruce with another catch as he, with each reception, moves toward Henry Ellard's all-time Ram reception record. He's well over 500.
Well, somehow, some way, the Colts can't stop trying to get to Kurt Warner. They can't just allow him to, you know, come at him with some sort of a 3- or 4-man rush. They're going to have to take some chances because there's no way this receiving core won't get open if you can't force Warner into some hurried throws.
2nd and 2. They rush only 4 on this occasion, and Warner throws underneath. Complete. Hakeem tackled at the 40 and did not get out of bounds, so the clock runs, and we're at the 49, 48 seconds left. Timeout called by Warner, and they have 1 left.
So many weapons that come at you so many different ways. You know, right off the bat, Torrey Holt comes up with the first big play of the game. Then he just spreads it to anybody and everybody. There's Isaac Bruce. Of course, the catch of the game by Marshall Faulk with that stab of a ball well behind him. But it is an embarrassment of riches offensively here for the St. Louis Rams, and nobody knows that more than their head coach / play caller, Mike Martz.
It's like going into a card game. They always give you a couple extra cards just to play with.
Yep, here's who's gotten a chance to play today. Faulk, Holt, Bruce, Hakeem, and Prohl. Ricky's only got 1. And you know, Ricky Prohl is just a wonderful example. Here's a guy that such a high-quality receiver who comes through big for these guys, but not in this offense does he get much play.
Warner uncorks a long one, incomplete, and that one to Torrey Holt, who got away with a little push in the back of the Colts defender David Macklin. Well, here's Warner. That's only the 3rd ball to hit the ground thrown by Warner. He's 14 for 17.
Right up along the sideline, that's Macklin and Holt.
And not much of a push at all.
No, and you see Torrey trying to make a one-handed catch. He knows if he goes over there to try to catch it with 2 hands, it's going to pull one of his feet out of bounds. So he did the only thing he thought he could do, just try to make that one-handed catch. Why not? Everybody else on the team does.
215 yards in this opening half. He's broken his own Ram record. Now nearly 4,400 passing this year. He just gets this one away in time, and it's complete. Isaac Bruce at the Colts 44, and that stops the clock. 35 seconds. Nick Harper was the man on a corner blitz.
And he comes right between the left guard and the left tackle where he knows there's nobody to pick him up. It's an empty backfield. And Kurt Warner is oblivious to a pass rush. And it's one of the most complimentary things you can say about a quarterback. He is fearless in the pocket, and when that's a term that you'll hear coaches use, he doesn't see the rush. It's hard to pay a quarterback much more of a complimentary thing than that.
And that last rush, Macklin hit him just as he threw the ball. Goes to the end zone this time. Flag down, and it's caught. What a catch by Holt. He seemed to be blanketed by Nick Harper, and he still took it away. The flag is in the secondary of the Colts. You suspect it's against them. It is. Touchdown, St. Louis again.
Total contact. Defense, number 20. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
I remember asking middle linebacker Rob Morris yesterday, are you afraid that when you get out on that field, you're going to find out that the Rams are even quicker and faster than they look on tape? And he said, yeah, we're concerned about it. And, you know, I guess I won't know till I get out there. Well, they are faster than they appear on tape, and they appear really fast on tape.
Oh, Wilkins just squeezes that extra point inside the right upright. 35-14 St. Louis. Another big catch by Torrey Holt. That a 46-yard score.
Well, Torrey Holt right now, he's being shadowed. That's Nick Harper, but he's expecting a little help from the inside. Harper trying to run with him, and look at again, Harper has good coverage. That is good coverage. That ball might have just even grazed his glove on the way to Torrey Holt. But you know what kind of concentration it takes as a receiver to catch a football falling down, the other guy's all over the top of you, his arm is sweeping across your field of vision, and yet you look that ball right in for another touchdown. Not many people can do that and make it look that easy.
You can see the appreciation from his teammates to Torrey Holt. 2 touchdowns caught today. He has 7 on the season. And Kurt Warner, his statistics the first half would make most NFL quarterbacks proud for a game. 274 yards, 16 for 19, and 3 touchdown throws.
Well, Kurt Warner honored with a Pro Bowl trip last year. Torrey Holt got his first Pro Bowl trip last year, because I'll bet you a lot of people don't know this, but his 1,635 yards last year, led the National Football League in receiving yardage. Torrey Holt. It wasn't Randy Moss. It wasn't a lot of the other high-profile guys. It was Torrey Holt.
Yeah, he averaged almost 20 yards a catch last year. He's around 17 this year. Goes up to an up-back, Jim Finn, the blocking back and fullback, and he takes it to the 34, 22 seconds left in the half.
Well, Torrey Holt, he's had a career for some people just here in the first half, and they're running all kind of crossing pattern. There he goes on a post. This time he works the left side, wide open for that touchdown, and this is just beautiful concentration. But again, the guy who's getting it done is number 13, as he is dropping the football in precisely where it needs to be.
Look at that average. 40 yards a catch, 4 catches, 2 of them touchdowns. So Manning with 22 seconds left. Has to eat it. Leonard Little, who leads the Rams with 10.5 sacks coming in. Former Tennessee star and teammate of Peyton Manning gets the first sack of the day.
Well, they were in the same class at Tennessee, so yes, Leonard and Peyton know each other very well. And I don't know that Peyton Manning has played many football games where he must feel as far behind as he is right now. You know, this isn't just a question of points. This is, oh, we don't need any of that. Tyoka Jackson, the defensive lineman. But Peyton Manning just must feel so overwhelmed by what he's watching this Rams offense do. It's got to be a little depressing.
Let's go down to Bonnie.
Marshall Faulk with 3 touchdowns, Torrey Holt with 2, Warner with all day to throw. Where do you go from here, Jim?
Well, we just got to try to make plays. You know, like on that last touchdown right there, we've had a guy right in perfect position to knock the ball down. He doesn't knock it down. You know, we got to get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, and we're trying, but we just haven't got there. And we got to make plays. You know, we had an opportunity to make a play in the very first series to sack the quarterback. We had a guy free. He didn't get it done. I don't know. We got to make plays on defense. That's all.
Coach, thanks.
That was a very accurate summary. Exactly the first 30 minutes of this game through the eyes of head coach Jim Mora. His team trails the St. Louis Rams 35-14. Coming up next, the Nextel halftime report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect halftime report. Nextel, get right through.
And welcome to the Nextel halftime report. Jim Nance from our Manhattan studios, and Mike, Randy, and Jerry alongside on the NFL today. Randy said the Rams would outscore Jordan's 51 of last night, and they're on their way right here.
Yeah, they're on pace for 70, and Marshall Faulk right now is doing a heck of a job. So is Torrey Holt. I can see it right now on this guy's resume. I caught a touchdown pass in the TWA dump. But if you're throwing touchdown passes or you're running them in, right now you got horns in the side of your helmets and you're a Ram, because Peyton Manning and the Colts are doing some things right.
Good bootleg here.
That's a great bootleg. They're doing the best they can. But right now, the offense of the St. Louis Rams is in full flower. Every time they throw, it seems it's to Holt. It's for a long gain. It's for a touchdown. And if Marshall Faulk isn't running it in, they're throwing it to him. Then he's running it in.
Duck!
Well, that's too much information.
All right, I sensed the letdown. I told you this on the NFL today. The Jets today would be in for a struggle. Bills, big drive at the end of the half.
And you're right, because really they have struggled. Testaverde struggled. He's missed some open receivers, but Curtis Martin's right. Here's early in the game. Vinny Testaverde lays it out there deep, and he really underthrows the pass. It would have been a touchdown. He had him wide open with Ernie Scholes. Come right back here. Again, he throws it deep, and it's underthrown again, actually. It's intercepted this time by Nate Clements. And here it goes. Kyle Remusmer takes it down to a first down. They go in and go first and goal, and then they score right here.
Larry Centers.
Larry Centers gets it in.
That completes an 83-yard drive for the Bills, leading by a point at halftime. Atlanta and Miami and the Dolphins offense sluggish at the first, but coming on with a late touchdown drive, and Fiedler with the touchdown pass for the lead there.
And Michael Vick in for the injured Chandler. He's 0 for 2 for the Falcons.
And the 49ers, Garcia runs one in, throws one as well to J.J. Stokes.
So far, it's been J.J. Stokes. It hasn't been Terrell Owens for the 49ers.
It's been Cordell Stewart for the Pittsburgh Steelers, although the Bengals feisty here, down 7 at halftime.
Plexico Burris, the recipient of 2 touchdowns from Stewart, both in the first quarter.
And no short passes. Watch this thing. Woo! Go get it. Run, twist.
Get your giddy up.
About a 42-yard touchdown. I know Mike likes that dinky-dinky-do. But watch this. The slim post. Go down the hash mark. 28 yards. Put it on the numbers. Oh, I love that kind of football.
How could a quarterback miss a power forward?
Look at this. Bad snap. Josh Miller fumbles, gives it. Robert Bean picks it up. He flips it to Brian Simmons. Brian Simmons goes to the whip. Go to the whip. You can't win this in the hand ride. Touchdown!
Didn't you and Mike talk about that field goal team costing Pittsburgh later on down the road?
You were listening.
Yeah, he was watching the coach's corner. Cleveland leads at Tennessee. Final half minute of the first half. Look at these numbers by the quarterbacks. Couch has thrown 2. McNair was good on his first 9 attempts, and this was for the lead. Inside the 2-minute mark, Jamel White, just from a yard out, 24-21, back and forth we go. Kansas City and Jacksonville. Stacey Mack, the story here, Mike.
Oh, really? 13 rushes, 123 yards,
wow,
and 1 TD. But I tell you what, everybody in this game is playing pretty good. It's a pretty solid football game.
And the Bears quarterback, Jim Miller, 2 touchdown passes here.
Was that you, Coach?
Was that you or Michael Jackson?
And I'll tell you, they're going to some hard. Dwayne Bates is stepping up big in this game. He's made some big catches for the Bears.
Minnesota, Spurgeon Wynn starting at quarterback. He's completed as many to his, to the Packers as he has to his own team. I'm on Greenhill in check, though. Arizona all over the Panthers. David Boston caught 2 touchdowns in that opening half. This is a doubleheader day here on CBS, and later on we feature 2 AFC West rivalries. Some will see the Seahawks against the Chargers, but most of you will watch the Broncos hosting the AFC West champion Raiders. More on that matchup. Let's go out to Mile High. Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms.
All right, Jim, welcome to Invesco Field at Mile High, everyone, where we had snow flurries earlier today, and it is expected to remain cloudy and cold here in Denver. Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. And despite the fact that we have a Raiders-Broncos rivalry on tap, there's something else to keep an eye on, and that's the Oakland Raiders themselves. They began the season on fire at 8-2, but they've stumbled the last couple of weeks. Why is that?
Yeah, Greg, when everybody says they have stumbled, they are talking about the Raiders offense. We talked to John Gruden last night. Look what they did the first 12 games. 28 points, 110 yards rushing per game. The last 2, 12 points, 84 yards rushing per game. John Gruden says, look, we've had injuries to the offensive line. We're turning the football over, something they didn't do early in the year. We're missing field goals. We saw that last week against the Tennessee Titans. And penalties have really hurt this Raider offense. But in my opinion, the biggest thing is the defenses they're seeing now. They're playing very conservative, dropping a lot of people back, and they're keeping the Raiders from having big plays. And if you want to score a lot of points in the National Football League, you need big plays. The Raiders have not done that.
Raiders have their eye on a first-round bye. They're already in. The Denver Broncos are eliminated, but pride is a factor, as is that long-running feud with the Oakland Raiders. Happy New Year, Jim, to you guys back in the studio.
And the same to the 2 of you. We look forward to the call there from Greg and Phil later on today here on CBS. And Happy New Year to all of you. Thanks for watching. The Nextel Halftime Report will send you back out for the second half of your game right after this.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
NFL.com, your source for game day coverage.
This is a big game. We got to take it one play at a time. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Up-to-the-minute live stats.
No place like first place.
Live radio coverage.
Whitley won't go down. Whitley hit it in.
And post-game features.
Hey, listen, great job, fellas. Excellent job.
On Sundays, watch your game and follow the rest of the action on NFL.com.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Getting ready for the second half. Top 2 offenses in the league, but the Rams averaging 31 a game. Best in the league at 35.5 behind Kurt Warner. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League continues after this word from your local station. Back in St. Louis, the Rams 30 minutes away from clinching the NFC West and a bye in the opening round of the upcoming playoffs. 35-14, and we're a new dictionary of adjectives to describe this offense.
Well, I think of Indianapolis, Dick, because I've been on the Well, I've been in that position before, but most often it's because you've made some mistakes, and you always can look at some things and say, if we just don't do this, we'll be in this game. But they've been overwhelmed, and the statistics here will back that up. 347 yards of total offense for the Rams in one half of football. And here's a case where, you know, the time of possession, it really doesn't mean.
And as Jim Mora ruefully said, you know, we've been in position to make defensive plays, and our halfbacks or cornerbacks are unable to knock it away.
No, it's one thing to have something tangible to grab hold of and say, well, if we just do this better, we'll win this game. But you can't tell me that the members of the Indianapolis defense didn't sit in there and saying we're over our heads.
20 and out of bounds at the 27-yard line as we go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Dick, Mike Martz walked out of the locker room and he said, boy, this is fun of his team's 5-touchdown performance. He said the good thing defensively is with us having a 21-point lead, it takes a lot of the guesswork out. We know the Colts have to throw. One interesting tidbit, though, Kurt Warner, 16 for 19 passing, 274 yards, but he has a perfect passer rating of 158.3 for the first half. I don't know how that all works, but it has something to do with completion percentage, lots of touchdowns, and no interceptions.
As perfect as you can get, Kurt Warner. He waits his turn as Peyton Manning starts from the 26.
The amazing thing is he's done that before.
And that's an indication for those of you who have been with us why the Rams currently are the team to beat for that Super Bowl title. As Rhodes off tackle picks up a gain of 5, maybe 6. Well, look at the NFC playoff picture with the Bears winning 17-0 at the half and the Rams winning. It still will come down to the final week as Chicago entertains Jacksonville. Atlanta will be here should the Rams stumble and the Bears continue to win. The Bears actually have the tiebreaker advantage. So things aren't locked up yet, although a win by the Rams does assure a bye in the first playoff round. Second and short. Rhodes in the flat, picks his spot and has the first down out at the 38-yard line. Aeneas Williams makes the tackle, the veteran from Southern University.
Dick, the one thing, though, for the Rams, which is all you can ask for at this time of the season, is they need help from no one. Chicago can do whatever they want. If the Rams take care of business, and if they win today and they win next week here at home against Atlanta, they need help from no one. They'll have the home field, the advantage all the way through the playoffs. They know their next road game will be the Super Bowl in New Orleans if it all shakes out their way.
Which means all games in a dome where they play best of all with their lightning attack. Delay, and it's a Rhodes picking a nice hole up the middle of the 45 and a gain of 6 more before Tommy Polley can bring him down.
Now the Rams showed their first signs of vulnerability here at home this year as they've lost 2 home games. But let's not kid ourselves. It's 20 degrees outside today in St. Louis, and you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out, you look at this offense, it works a lot better at 72 degrees in this type of a controlled environment. Mike Martz has built a team for the indoors, for the carpet. It's a blazingly fast team.
Predictable footing every game. You know exactly what you're going to get when you arrive on Sunday. Rhodes again. And he's to the 49, and it appears he has enough for the first down based on the spot. Well, there's only one team, as you tried to hear between the phrases of coaches and players here at the Rams camp. There's one team that worries them, and that's the team you saw last night, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, for good measure. They had to beat Tampa Bay here in the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. And they know it wasn't for Ricky Prohl making a catch in the end zone in the last couple of minutes of the game. Would have been Tampa in that Super Bowl. And by the way, when Tampa won last night, they eliminated New Orleans. Not a real popular team here in St. Louis. So that's a real grudge match there, too.
On first down, good block. Rhodes breaks a tackle and then takes a vicious hit as he crosses midfield. Grant Wistrom and Jeff Scanina in on that last tackle.
Well, it's Dominic when you look at it spelled. It's Dominique when you pronounce it. And to call him a pleasant surprise is one of the gross understatements of the year. To be an undrafted free agent who has a shot of going over 1,000 yards for a season, in which today is really only his 9th start of the season. That's amazing production for someone you don't count on.
With that run, he's got 941 yards. Underneath and complete to Dilger, ripped away by London Fletcher.
Well, I did have a little bit of a mathematics background, Dick, but at 941 yards with 9 starts, well, you're talking about an undrafted free agent that's knocking him off at over 100 yards a game.
He goes limping off. That'll bring on number 43, Kevin McDougal, a second-year, another free agent for the Colts out of Colorado State. And we'll keep our eyes on the sidelines and see how serious Rhodes' injury is. 3rd down. Long 8. Manning buying some time, throws to Harrison, and the sure-fingered 6-year veteran from Syracuse has yet another catch. They talk about Harrison, and every route he runs the same way. You can't read him.
Well, look what he did to Dexter McLeon. You could see Dexter smacking his hands at the conclusion of that play because Marvin completely fooled him.
And he's smacking his lips as Marvelous Marvin. That's his 100th catch of the year. As you look at his stats the last 3 years, 39 catches for touchdowns, averaging well over that 100-yard mark.
A magnificent football player. And again, a guy who took a big hit in the first half of this football game and could have mailed it in.
This is McDougal, a little slower off the blocks than Dominique Rhodes, and he's tackled by Wistrom and Ahanatu.
Watch Grant Wistrom trot off the field. Think it's not tough down there? Boom! Grant Wistrom right in the solar plexus. Boy, that is a great hit on McDougal, driving him back like that. Grant Wistrom, one of the really high motor guys in the NFL. This guy has one speed, and it's somewhere above 100%.
2nd down, 11. Down the middle. Oh, through the hands of Dilger. He was wide open, but the ball just a little behind him and unable to pull it in.
Yeah, you're right, Dick. It was just a little bit behind him. Peyton unhappy with himself. Get a guy that wide open. Dilger is running full speed, stops and tries to make the adjustment. Looked like it got his foot tangled up with the other one, and it kind of spun him around a little more than he wanted. But Peyton knew that he wasted an opportunity there.
Manning with a touchdown rushing of a yard, but none throwing today. 3rd and 11. They show blitz and timeout called by Manning and the Colts. It comes with 5 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. The Rams by 21. Back in St. Louis with a reminder that following the game you can log on to NFL.com, get the latest updates on the playoff picture as well as analysis from the experts. NFL.com, America Online, keyword NFL.com. Dominique Rhodes returns at running back, joins Peyton Manning on 3rd and 11 from the Rams 30. Blitz, Manning down the middle. Broken up. A nice play by London Fletcher, who sprinted back from his middle linebacker position to knock it away from Marcus Pollard.
Well, the Rams do a great job of faking everything up front like they're going to come with a load, and then they end up dropping everybody back. And London Fletcher does his job, playing the middle of the field from his middle linebacker spot. And London Fletcher covers as much ground as any linebacker in the game of football. He is not tall, but he is strong, and he is fast.
Mike Vanderjagt to try a 48-yard field goal. His longest this year is 52. Murphy at the 7. And brought down at the 24-yard line by Sam Sword and Corey Bird. Well, Thursday on Survivor, 2 episodes are left now, folks. The stakes are higher than ever. Who's going to make it to the Final Four? Find out. All new Survivor Africa, Thursday on CBS.
Well, during our commercial break, Peyton Manning talking to his left tackle, Tariq Glenn, and that's Howard Mudd, the offensive line coach. They're going over some blocking schemes, but seems to be a little disagreement about who's to do what and whose responsibility is whom.
Kurt Warner screens on the first play, and Falk breaks tackles out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 9. That's now 17 for 20 throwing for Kurt Warner.
And what kind of a first half did Marshall Falk have? Well, take a look at this. But look at the blocking he's receiving. Look at the alley that he has to score that touchdown. Again, they test the left side. Look at this. How can you block it any better than that? And another touchdown for Marshall Falk. And again, a crease several yards wide. And the offensive line of the Rams in the first half, difficult to play any better than they did.
Yeah, they're saving laundry bills for that running back Falk. He won't have to have that jersey clean, going untouched today.
Well, there's not a lot of mud in here either.
2nd and 1. Only Howard over there, the line coach for the Colts. First down for Marshall Falk.
Nice recovery there.
Well, I was an old Hillsdale College fan. You look at Jim Hannafin, you're a friend, and offensive line coach inducted you in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He most certainly did, and he has been in the National Football League now for 30 years. I think maybe this is his 31st season or something. 30 years, I believe. And wow, he has well, he looks like an old veteran, doesn't he?
Good old Irish, tough Irishman. He's the marshal of the St. Patty's Parade here, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and boy, does he know how to coach offensive line.
Warner all by himself. The throw complete. Isaac Bruce to the 42-yard line of Indianapolis. Morris and Burris make the tackle, make it Holt with the catch and a first down at the 41.
And this relentless offense continues to work downfield. You see Jeff Burris playing the inside, and as he falls back into the zone, the responsibility goes over to Bashir. But again, you got to wonder if this Indianapolis defense isn't just so, I don't want to say intimidated, but if they're not unsure of themselves with this offense coming at them from so many different directions. They're not scared, but they are definitely unsure of what they're supposed to do.
Warner now on a roll and then throws back. Intercepted. It went right to the cornerback for the Colts, and it is David Macklin who gets a freebie pick. It's his second interception of the season. That was a tight end throwback screen to Ernie Conwell, and went awry. A rare mistake from Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner protected so well today. He's had the luxury of sitting back there waiting for his receivers to break open. On that occasion, a little defensive to the charge from the Colts, and he had to throw more blindly, and the pick by David Macklin. First down at the 47 of St. Louis for Manning. Fake to Rhodes. Steps up. Goes into the flat, incomplete.
Well, Dick mentioned that Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner rather, for the first time today really has to throw under duress. He's trying to get it out to Ernie Conwell on a tight end screen, but Ernie gets caught in traffic. Kurt throwing to a spot. Conwell not able to get there. And Kurt Warner, that entire TV timeout, that break, paced the sideline, so upset with himself. He knows he had a perfect day going, and David Macklin really the recipient of a guide. Look at that. Being in the right place at the right time, and Warner is still seething.
Manning through this crowd bin. 2nd and 10. Rhodes on a delay, and not much there. Maybe a yard. Tommy Polley again with a tackle. Bonnie?
Well, guys, it'll be interesting to see whether Mike Martz calls a pass right out of the gate when Warner comes back on the field, because Kurt was telling us the one great thing Martz has done. He said, if I've thrown a lot of picks, and coming in today he had 18, he said he wouldn't make me hand the ball off. Right away, he would give me more complicated pass routes. Martz said, I never want him to think for 1 second I don't have the utmost confidence in my quarterback.
Yeah, get right back on that horse that bucked you. Now it's 3rd and 10 for Manning, trying to take advantage of that interception. Quick throw to Rhodes, well covered by Dre Bly. An extra defensive back came up to make the immediate hit at the 44-yard line. Gain of only 3 yards.
I don't know that Kurt Warner could throw enough interceptions that could ever get Mike Martz to the point where he wouldn't want to throw the football. It's not a question of faith in Kurt Warner. It is a confidence that has been born out of his accomplishments the last 3 years. Mike Martz would throw the football if Kurt Warner had thrown 8 interceptions in a quarter. That wouldn't slow him down one bit.
And there's another example also, Dan, of the defense, improved defense of the Rams. They give up the ball at midfield, but Indianapolis unable to gain a single yard. Well, actually 4 yards on that last pass play. Gray Bly with a fair catch inside the 20 and a timeout. 5:46 left in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. We know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by 1010-220. For great long distance rates anywhere in America and around the world, dial 1010-220.
And welcome back as you look at a relaxed and pleased Rams bench leading 35-17. Recover from the pass interception, take over at their own 18. 16 passing first downs to 5 rushing, but it's almost as if the Rams with this Colt defense can do whatever they want. It's run this time, and Falk up the middle to the 23-yard line, a gain of 5.
Well, it's all fun and games when you're winning. You just have that attitude. Look at Dre Bly after he catches this. He signals a fair catch.
That looked like you when that check came last night.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of shoulder movement, but the feet never moved.
And the hands either. Stayed right on the body.
Well, the difference between myself and Dre Bly is I had pockets. I had someplace to put my hands.
Dre Bly, they like him. In fact, Mike Martz said, I could use him on offense. He'd be a terrific wide receiver.
Right. And Mike Martz just was forced to give up with Oz Hakeem as his punt returner because of how many times the ball was on the ground. Bly won't be spectacular, but he hopefully will be sure-handed for the Rams.
An inside handoff to Falk, and he's cut down at the 25 as Adrees Bashir, the rookie from the University of Memphis. That's a clean open field hit.
Well, that's by far and away the best hit and the best tackle by the Colts all day today, because it looks like Marshall's going to follow a block and get out and make something happen. He's got Ernie Conwell out in front of him right there, but Bashir comes to the inside of Conwell. Yes, that was a good tackle. And a rare moment of celebration for anyone involved with the Indianapolis defense.
Here's third down, and they're 5 for 5, as you can see, converting the Rams. They need 3. Warner plenty of time, and then it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Ellis Johnson had a big mid up there, and so did Mark Thomas.
Somebody wake up John Baker.
John Baker, the punter from North Texas State. Actually, you mean me? You want me to do what?
He's actually coming out here. All right, John.
First punt of the day for the Rams, and Baker. I've heard of icing the kicker, but here in St. Louis, I mean, he could have gone down, done a few rounds, delivered some mail. Short kick. Terrence Wilkins lets it bounce, and that's to the Rams' advantage. It'll roll all the way inside the 25. A flag is down. 54-yard punt. That's one of those, ooh, I wish I had that one back. And then when you see the receiver doesn't field it, it just bounces merrily another 20 yards for you, and you come up with a good-looking average. His longest of the year is 55. Holding against the Colts will make it even worse.
During the kick, holding. Receiving team on the flyer, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Make a grown man's head and hair gray. And welcome back to Missouri, where they love the Rams. 35-17 with just under 4 minutes left in the third. Each team with 40 plays, but the Rams quick strike offense, delivering 5 touchdowns the opening half. Manning starts from his own 11 after the penalty on the punt. And it's Rhodes. Can't get outside. Loses a yard in the grasp of Tommy Polley. Boy, has he had a game. Polley, 6'3" and 240, the rookie from Florida State.
Well, the line forms to the right for those of you that want to cover punts. That's Nick Sorensen, number 41. Rudely thrown to the ground by David Macklin. And Corey Bird in on the action as well. But as a cover guy, you got no choice but to get back in it, fix your helmet, get it back. You can't run if you can't see. That grab by Macklin was the 10-yard holding infraction that was paced on.
Hand off to Rhodes, and he trips as he crosses the 15 out to the 16, where it'll be a 3rd down and 7. Well, tomorrow night, Monday night, CBS, the night of great television starts with The King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, Monday's #1 comedy, of course, is Everybody Loves Raymond, and then don't miss The Ellen Show, followed by 48 Hours. That's all tomorrow night, the lineup on CBS. Make it 3rd down 5. They spot it at the 16. 3 wides for Manning. Wearing his dad's old college uniform number, 18. That flanker screen that worked so well early in the game to Wilkins does not this time. Wk16 and Leonard Little make the stop.
Well, the Rams fake the blitz up the middle, but then come off more from the edge, so Peyton does have to get rid of it in a hurry. We saw earlier in the game where that was a big play for Wilkins as he cuts out across and ends up with big yardage. Needless to say, the Rams looking for it that time.
So Hunter Smith with the full field to use on this punt will deliver from around his own 4 to Dre Bly, who stands at the Rams 41. Good driving kick. Bly all the way to the 32. Oh, breaks around the coverage to the 50. 40 and down at the 37. Marcus Washington finally made the stop. 31-yard return by Dre Bly.
Well, Dre Bly, when he caught this ball, I looked, 24 yards was between Dre Bly and the nearest Indianapolis defender. That gave him a lot of time to decide what he was going to do. That was such a good punt. It was at least 24 to 25 yard separation between anyone in a white jersey and Dre Bly.
So Kurt Warner with a short field, 1st down at the 37. Ricky Prohl in motion. And it's Falk. Prohl with a good block on the corner. Brought down to the 31-yard line. Which one of these potential playoff outsiders most likely to rebound and make a playoff run next year? Like Tennessee, the Vikings, these Colts, Denver, Giants, or would you like someone else? Yeah, just log on, cast your vote at NFL.com.
Others. Is that the name of that new Houston team, the Others?
That's right. It won't be long for them where they're going to start having a roster. That expansion draft will.
They've already signed some people. They've signed some free agents already. So a real head start.
They're going to be with Indianapolis in the AFC South. Underneath to Akeem, and he has a 1st down at the 21-yard line before Mike Peterson and Corey, trailing the play, can make the stop.
Well, again, that's rough territory for a guy that's not very big. Akeem at only 182 pounds, 5'10". But like all of these guys, part of the deal for playing in this offense is you've got to catch stuff across the middle. There's a lot of snappy stuff taking place. They try to get blockers out in front of you, but let's face it, sometimes they don't get there, and you take a big shot from big people. But if you're going to play for Mike Martz, you have to be willing to play between the hash marks. It's not all outside on the sideline.
1st down toss to Falk, and they're able to drop Marshall Falk for a rare loss. It's Chucky Wakori, the free agent from Purdue, as the final seconds disappear, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter here in St. Louis with a score. The Rams 35, the Colts 17. We'll return to the Dome at America Center right after this message and a word from your local station. 0 in the 3rd period for the Rams.
Not very sanitary there with the mouthpiece over the ear. Defensive tackle Jeff Scanina. How about that, huh?
And it doubles as a hearing aid. You know, you never know.
It's like Mike Tyson left it there.
2nd down 11. And Warner fires to the end zone, open and incomplete. He threw it behind Isaac Bruce. Well, 35-17 Rams here. Let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Dick and Dan trying to settle some of the playoff picture. The Steelers trying to lock up home field throughout the AFC playoffs. This will go for Cordell Stewart, his third touchdown pass of the day. Fu'umatu Ma'afalo, 37 yards. And an update from Dallas with the Cowboys driving again. They're up 10 in the fourth quarter. Almost 400 yards offense for the Cowboys today. Let's go back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Boy, Cowboys,
unbelievable.
Second half of the season, they have really shown that they're on the improve. Warner, over the middle, complete to Bruce this time. Touchdown.
No, they're going to call him down, Dick.
It appeared he was in the end zone. Just touchdown at the 1-yard line as Raymond Walls, an extra defensive back in there for the Colts.
I was with you. From here, it looked like he was in the end zone. Boy, working out of the slot. Look at the move he puts on Raymond Walls. Oh, and that's a good call. Oh, you saw his right knee hit the ground. This is an excellent call by the official. The right knee is down right there, and that football is well short of the goal line. Not well liked by the crowd, and Isaac wanted a touchdown, but that's the proper call.
And now Kurt Warner with only a foot away from a touchdown and 4 shots to get it. He calls timeout. St. Louis Rams seeking the NFC Western title with a victory today, and in the red zone, 2 possessions, 2 very quick touchdowns. They lead it 35-17, and they have just that distance to go, half a yard for another 7.
This is where you like to let your offensive line have a little fun. Let them come off the ball and power it in.
Now Falk denied as he tries the right side behind Timmerman and Tucker. As Marcus Washington, one of the young players that Jim Mora feels has a great future.
Well, look at this. This is a great look at what it's like on the goal line. And that was excellent work by the Colts of not getting moved back. Look at that. There's not a white jersey in the end zone. Nobody got knocked off the ball that time for the Colts. And Marcus Washington ends up putting the big hit on Marshall Faulk.
Second-year backer from Auburn.
You don't have much ground to give. Those big guys in the white jerseys have got to get underneath and get upfield.
Hodgins and Falk on 2nd and goal. And Marshall Faulk again finds a crease, and he's in the end zone for his 4th touchdown today.
Well, with experience comes patience, and that's what Marshall Faulk shows right here. He thinks about going outside, and then at the last second decides to cut it upfield. He wasn't so out of control, he wasn't going so fast that he couldn't make the cut when he wanted to make it. Looked at the outside, thought about it, saw that the block gave him a crease to the inside, and was under control enough to make his cut upfield into the end zone.
Extra point by Jeff Wilkins. Falk matches his 4 touchdown scored a year ago against Tampa Bay. I'm out in St. Louis.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Prudential Financial, growing and protecting your wealth. New Pepsi Twist, Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon. And by Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Great picture downtown St. Louis on this frosty day. The great arch framing the old courthouse. Blue skies, temperature in the teens today.
For all of you remember your history teachers talking about the Dred Scott case. Announcement was made on the steps of that old courthouse.
And he zigzags out to the 25-yard line. Well, NFL today, Saturday, it's women's college basketball and a triple header for you on CBS. Penn State, Vanderbilt opens it up, then Michigan State, Georgia, and in the grand finale, #1 unbeaten Connecticut meets #2 the Lady Vols of Tennessee. For more, go to cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Yeah, the Rams, the top scoring team in the NFL, posted 42 today. And early here in the 4th quarter, Peyton Manning from his 25-yard line.
I gotcha.
Good protection for Manning down the middle to Marcus Pollard, the big tight end. Cradles it into the 47 of St. Louis.
Well, coming into the game, this is an area of the field that the Colts really wanted to work against. They thought they had an advantage against the middle of this St. Louis defense. They've given up yardage there before, and they've got a real weapon in both Pollard and Dilger. They tried it once or twice in the first half and got it a little bit, but that's a play that going into this game, I thought I'd see a lot more.
28 yards on that hookup to his tight end. Rhodes, a little misdirection, and then down he goes at the 45, and over we go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, the biggest surprise on the board so far, Dick, is Buffalo's performance today against the Jets. They've held the Jets to only 3 John Hall field goals. This one just a few moments ago from 32 yards out, getting the Jets within 5. Meantime, the 49ers have seen Emmitt Smith go over 100, and Galloway 6 catches, 146 and a touch. Big day by the Cowboys. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thank you, Jim. Coming from all directions as this playoff picture crystallizes.
I know the Cowboys have been playing well, but that's a stunner. Yeah. That is really a stunner. The Niners need that game.
Fake to Rhodes, down the middle, Manning, incomplete to Pollard, and a flag goes down. Interference is going to be called on London Fletcher. He was not playing the ball.
It's that simple. But I think you have encapsulated it, Dick. You've got to be turned around, you got to be playing the football. Everybody has a right to it, but you've forfeited that right if you're not looking at it.
London Fletcher, who was a free agent, undrafted out of John Carroll, was a great little point guard. He's only 5'10", 241 pounds of enthusiasm. He's the spirit of that defense.
Pass interference, defense, number 59, automatic first down.
There it is. London Fletcher makes contact with Marcus Pollard, and again he's not playing the football. It's rule number 1. Contact downfield, you can get away with it, but you must have your head swiveled back to the football.
Oh, first down outside the 15-yard line for Peyton Manning and the Colts. Throws on the run incomplete. Dominique Rhodes, and Manning in that little moment of indecision. He could have tucked it away and maybe gained 5 yards or so running, but he saw Rhodes there in the flat, tried to hit him on the run.
Well, keep in mind, ever since Peyton Manning has come into the National Football League, when that situation arose, he was either flipping that out to Marshall Faulk or to Edgerrin James. He knew exactly where they were going to be. Two of the most gifted backs we've seen in recent memory coming out of the backfield. Marshall Faulk may be the best ever of catching it out of the backfield.
Well, that's what Manning said, the best ever.
He said he was the best ever.
2nd and 10. Rhodes, nice cut, 10, 5, and down to the 2-yard line. And this young man, Dominique Rhodes, and you can see why Jim Moore is excited. He said we get Edgerrin James back next year, and we have Rhodes to back him up, give him a breather. I like that.
Just out of the single back set, they get a great block from Marcus Pollard at the point of attack. Tart Glenn, the left tackle, number 78, and just hard-nosed football here out of Rhodes.
Rhodes, who started today with 880 yards, breaking Fred Lane's undrafted rookie record, and now 83 more on his play this afternoon. 1st and goal. Fake to Rhodes. Manning dragged down. He could not outrun Leonard Little.
Nor will he ever. Leonard Little might be the fastest defensive end in football. Former linebacker, this guy has great speed. Now let's check out Marcus Pollard, because he ends up being open as he's coming all the way. But keep in mind, Peyton Manning is running for his life. If it wasn't for the pressure of Leonard Little, he would have found Pollard in the end zone. You know he would have. He's that good. But Leonard Little, a great burst to the ball.
And it's a heavier Little. He's gained 20 pounds. He used to be around 230. Now he's up in the 50s. Blitz. And Manning gets it away, but it's intercepted by Dre Bly. And Bly will take the touchback. Intended for Marvin Harrison, and Manning had to throw with the two Rams right in his face. Another disappointment for the Colts. The Rams cheer again. Dre Bly, the former Carolina Tar Heel, extends his club lead to 6 interceptions on the year. Not bad for the third defensive back as Peyton Manning and offensive coordinator Tom Moore go over the notes. And Warner hands off to Falk. Almost the point now where we expect to see Trung Candidate give Falk a breather.
Well, Peyton Manning on the interception that he threw in the end zone under tremendous pressure. He has no idea where this ball is going. He has Lyndon Fletcher right in his face. Wilkins open at the goal line, but he's trying to find Marvin Harrison. And Dre Bly just very alertly makes. And how about this? Dre Bly ran over to the stands and handed the football to that kid.
Well, he's got an Isaac Bruce jersey. He may want to trade it in for a 32.
I guarantee you next week, if he's back here for the Atlanta game next week, he'll be wearing 32. He should be.
Falk needs 1 yard for 100 today, and he's over the century mark rushing as he burrows out across the 30 to the 31 on the first down. Well, he comes in with high expectations, and rarely does Marshall Falk disappoint.
No, rarely, if ever. And again, he's been the recipient of some just fabulous blocking by his group up front. Kurt Warner delivers the ball right there as he gets it done. But the multi-talented, multi-purpose Marshall Falk, you can make a strong case that he's the best player in the National Football League. At this point in time, no one is performing at a consistently high level that's the equal of Marshall Falk.
More on the saga of Marshall Falk when we return to St. Louis. And welcome back. Marshall Falk, Kurt Warner, this high-powered Rams offense with a big lead. And that's Ellis Johnson injured on that last play, the 7-year veteran defensive tackle from the University of Florida. And Marshall Falk now with 103 yards rushing. That's his 29th 100-yard rushing game, 15 of those as a Ram, and the Rams have won every time Marshall's rushed for 100. Ricky Prohl in motion. And Falk on the pitch. First down carry, and he's to the 35-yard line, a gain of nearly 5. Rob Morris, number 94, down low to make the stop.
Dick, this is the point in time, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking to themselves, wait a minute, 42 points on the board, 8.5 minutes left in the game. Why is Marshall Falk still playing? And, you know, we addressed that with him. He says, I will never ask to come out of a football game. If it was up to me, I would play every play of every game. Now, we're getting close to the playoffs. I'm not saying that Indianapolis couldn't have some marvelous comeback, as Trung Candidate, his backup, looks on, but it's a tough job getting Marshall out of the game, but I think it's got to come sometime fairly soon.
Screen, middle screen to Falk, and it's read well by the Colts, and the tackle by Marcus Washington. Short of the first down, it'll bring up third in about 2. That is now 47 yards receiving, 107 more rushing, a 154-yard day for Marshall Falk. I like the fact that, you know, when you talk to his players, and Kurt Warner, he says when he's back there, he reads the pass rush so well. There's none there, he knows where to find an opening. If he sees somebody blitzing from away from him, he's able to cross over, pick him up. He just does so many things that you can't account for with numbers.
You're exactly right. It's just he's an extraordinary player.
Into the flat to Falk, and this one just a little short off his fingertips. Rob Morris on the coverage, and that will bring up 4th down and short in the punting team.
Kurt, 42 points, and he's mad at himself because he didn't deliver a perfect ball. This thing didn't have enough on it. He didn't get it out. And he knows this offense, this team is built on perfection. They practice that way. Their goal is to never have a ball touch the ground in practice. And Mike Martz has instilled a mindset in this football team where perfection is the only thing they're satisfied with.
John Baker
under a rush, gets it off, and it's a honey. Terrence Wilkins to the 11-yard line. That guy ought to kick more off. Gets a block, and he's finally run out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. 52 on the punt, 15 on Terrence Wilkins' return, sprinting right out of his shoes. No, that was Macklin blocking up front that lost one of his loafers.
Speaking of loafing, that's one of the things that Lovie Smith does. He keeps a loaf chart on his defensive football team, and after every game, you get a check mark for each. If he determines on that play you weren't running full speed in your pursuit of the ball carrier or the quarterback, and you get so many loafs a week, and the players, nobody wants to be leading the team in loafs.
Then you become a baker, and then you're a punter, and then it goes on and on. Peyton Manning from the 28-yard line, trailing 42-17. Fires, almost intercepted. London Fletcher. No, check it. Don Davis was traversing to the sidelines, had his mitts on it. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, as the Colts approach a 5-10 record, you can imagine how difficult it is for Peyton Manning to lose, simply because the kid doesn't know what losing is about. Yes, his rookie year, the Colts were only won 3 games, but that's to be expected. But between high school and college total, Peyton Manning lost 11 games as a starter, and he said there's only so much you can do. You can watch more film, and you can study harder, but this losing thing is just so frustrating and humbling, to say the least.
Well, he's such a high-quality person as well as a player. Manning saying all the right things and does all the right things. They'll be back. They just need some defensive help as Rhodes is crunched at the line of scrimmage. A reminder coming up, doubleheader here on CBS. Most of you will see the Raiders at Mile High against Denver, one of the top rivalries in the league. Others will see Seattle, a very important game for a lot of teams, that Seattle game at San Diego. And some feel that it will be Mike Riley's last as the head coach of the Chargers. Check your local listings. Go to cbs.sportsline.com. Now, that was a false start. Tariq Glenn, he's been getting away. He's been edging closer and closer to that penalty, trying to get a jump on the snap.
Well, he's got Leonard Little across on him.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense. Number 78, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
These are not good times to be an offensive tackle. You're way down. The other team has disregarded the run. The speed guy is on your outside shoulder. He's in a track stance. He could care less if you run the football. The crowd noise is keeping you from hearing your quarterback very clearly. You are all by yourself out there. It's not a fun place to be, especially when you're going against a guy as fast as Leonard Little, who this time has jumped to the other side of the formation.
He's going against Adam Meadows this time. 3rd and long. Manning underneath, incomplete through the hands of Marvin Harrison, kind of up on the back shoulder as he was running that crossing route. But that combination of Manning and Harrison hopefully will stay healthy. They've got so many great, already have posted some marvelous marks. Harrison with his catches today, over 100 receptions for the 3rd straight year. Manning 4 straight years, 3,000 yards passing. Bodes for exciting stuff back in the capital city of Indiana, years to come.
Well, you touched on their defense. That's where it all hinges. They have to get better defensively if they're to be competitive.
Hunter Smith to Dre Bly at the 30. And tackled at the 37. Jim Finn, another stop. 47-yard punt. And 7 on Bly's return. And a flag down back and another hold against Indianapolis. Trying to hold up that outside rusher, the gunner.
During the kick, holding, preceding team, number 57, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
.42-17. O.J. Brigance guilty of the hold on that return. A relaxed state on the Rams sidelines.
That was a look at Ryan Pickett, the Rams. One of their number 1 draft choices. He was actually their last. He was. They got that draft choice from Tennessee for Kevin Carter.
So from the 20, Warner hands off. And it's still Falk in there, and he gets a couple of yards. For the last time these two teams met, October 1st, 1995, it was Marshall Falk in a Colts uniform. And Colts and Rams had met 40 times, and Marshall Falk torched the team he plays for now. 177 yards on that day, 3 touchdowns. It was a Indianapolis win, 21-18 at the Hoosier Dome.
Well, to give you an idea how long ago that was, I believe I saw him taking the handoff from Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh still in uniform as a backup, I think, down in Carolina. On 2nd and 8, Warner over the middle, complete. And it's Torrey Holt. That's the kind he throws back. He got in the boat, but he throws that one back. That's just a short gainer, the way he's averaging up around 30-some yards a catch today. David Macklin, the receivers. You'll see the other scores, and the Steelers trying to join the Rams at 13-2 with the best records in the NFL. Miami, after a couple of tough ones, rebounding against Atlanta in the 4th quarter. And Dallas with a stinging surprise for San Francisco.
That's unbelievable. That is some effort by the Dallas Cowboys.
Who's going to score the most in that Tennessee-Cleveland game? Ball fighting through tacklers out to the 36-yard line.
You know, you don't want to play coach from the booth, but there have to be a lot of diehard Rams fans wondering why Marshall Falk is still carrying the football in a 42-17 game. They know that Trung Canada is more than capable. This guy's he got in a couple games when Marshall wasn't playing. He only rushed for 195 against the Jets, 145 against Carolina, and, you know, almost a 6-yard per carry average.
How about that? He averages 5'8".
He can't get on the field.
Falk 5'1". I mean, that's where do you find the weakness in this? How do you stop them? I guess Tampa Bay having 4 great down linemen and able to rush him with only 4. Falk this time gaining just a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Well, you saw all those scores. Now look at the AFC playoff picture with the Steelers trying to go 13-2, and the Raiders attempting to bounce back from a very difficult defeat to assimilate last weekend.
And the Seattle Seahawks have so much of it on their back. They're the ones that are fighting to get in. If Seattle should lose, which would be their 8th loss, the Jets and the Miami Dolphins and the Ravens are home free. They're all in because so Seattle has to win to keep pressure on those other teams, or else you're right, it's an amazing day.
Quick hitter over the middle to Torrey Holt, and Holt having a personal record day here in St. Louis this afternoon. Another catch, 213 yards and receptions for the former North Carolina State star.
Seattle is playing in your hometown of San Diego, starting in a late game today, so lots of eyes are going to be on what the Seahawks were able to do in their game with the Bolts this afternoon.
See, Torrey Holt, he told us last time, he said, boy, I really like working for a female owner, Georgia Frontier, because she likes diamonds. And if we go to the Super Bowl again, that ring might have even more glisten.
Oh, it had plenty last time.
Put your eyes out. Here's Falk picking his way across midfield to the 48-yard line on 1st down, and that takes us to the 2-minute timeout, and they can start putting on the championship hats, the NFC West. Here in St. Louis, there's the to-do list, and you can check off the first 3. Playoff berth. NFC West belongs to the Rams, and they now know they have the first-round bye, and if they win next week...
Not enough. They want more.
And with San Francisco losing, that makes it tough on the 40. That Green Bay, San Francisco, they're going to be battling maybe for home
Absolutely. But the Rams are in that enviable position of knowing that if they beat Atlanta at home here in the Dome next week, the road to the Super Bowl through the NFC has to go through St. Louis.
That's the tight end, Ernie Conwell, on a little end around. Marcus Washington tripped him up, and a flag goes down, and it may be for illegal tackle by the young linebacker Washington. He literally and figuratively tripped him up.
There's no foul for holding on the play. 3rd down.
Apparently a legal tackle.
Yeah, the flag was initially for a hold by one of the Rams, and after contemplation, that's Adam Timmerman, number 62 out there. And you know, that's a good call because Timmerman did not grab him and pull him down. You could see where Washington actually slipped and fell.
But he used his leg to trip up the ball.
Yeah, he did do that. But the flag wasn't for that. The flag was on Timmerman.
There's Aeneas Williams, and after being in Arizona, we talked to him earlier this year, he said, you know, you got, at my age, you just got used to the fact that you just didn't win many games. You just didn't expect to have good things happen. And now here, he's just, he can't wipe the smile off this veteran's face. He's such a great example for all the young Ram defensive backs. He's just a solid character in every way, and what a great player. 50 interceptions in his career.
And Dick, he's gone to a half a dozen Pro Bowls, but none in a couple of years, and he's having a Pro Bowl year this year. Aeneas Williams deserves to represent the Rams in the Pro Bowl this season. He's played that well and meant that much to this team.
That's Conwell taking the handoff, and he's to the 40-yard line.
Well, Isaac is done for the day. Akeem and Torrey Holt just came to the sidelines. They're finished for the afternoon. Of course, there's a whopping 40 seconds left in this ball game. Mike Martz, not exactly.
Take the rest of the game off, Martz.
And that's only because now Warner's going to take a knee and sit on it.
And Falk is in the game as just one of the bodyguards, and that'll do it. The final kneel down, and again, the St. Louis Rams, the Super Bowl champions 2 years ago, and Mike Martz, and this offense is so incredibly difficult to defend, and most impressive once again in the victory against the Colts. Final score, 42-17. Stay tuned. The second half of the doubleheader is next here on CBS. Raiders, Broncos, and Seattle at San Diego. AFC Western rivalries. Good action ahead, as well as all the scores and highlights coming to you from New York. For Dan Deerdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, this is Dick Enberg. Thank you for being with us in St. Louis. Congratulations to the NFC Western champs, the Rams, now to New York.